So here are the most in-demand services on Upwork that you can offer as a freelancer or an agency. Now, this is just based on my experience as someone who started off as a freelancer. Now I have a little agency and I've made $200,000 in the past 1.5 years solely off of Upwork clients. So these are just clients that I've gotten through Upwork. So as you can imagine, I've done a lot of outreach on Upwork. I've applied to a lot of projects. So this is just based on kind of what I've seen throughout the years. More importantly, what I've seen recently throughout these past few weeks, past few months, and just trends that I see, as well as me experimenting with other niches and other services, which ones I think are the easiest to service. I know this video is just about what's in demand, but it is important to kind of understand which one's most scalable, which one's most beginner friendly. So I'm going to be reviewing that as well. And no, I do not have a course to sell you, but if you want me to review your profile, your cover letter, your portfolio, all that, then I do have a free community and a free course, Agency Go. It's on a hat, so you know that it's legit. Just DM me on Instagram at AkashConvert and I'll give you access. If you're interested, it's completely free. But let's get started with the video. We're going to start with the most beginner friendly services first, and then we're going to work our way up to the more complex ones, but the ones that still, if you're a freelancer agency, they're all really in high demand and you can make some pretty good money with this too. Now, the very first service I want to start off with is video editing and thumbnail design. This is seriously, in my opinion, I think it's still the most beginner friendly service that you can offer. Let me do TH for thumbnails. So this service right here, specifically video editing and more specifically short form content editing, that is a service that completely changed the game for me when it came to establishing myself as someone who can grow social media accounts online for my clients. I pretty much just established my portfolio with that, and I kept adding more skills like thumbnail design, understanding social media trends, content formats, content strategies, that kind of stuff, right? But it all started with video editing short form content. And now I have a portfolio where I can confidently tell people, hey, look at all this proof that I've, helped people go viral, help people grow their brand online through video content. If you need help too, I can offer these services, blah, blah, blah. And now I actually get paid for my services. I no longer have to do them for free. I no longer do them at an extreme discount, okay? So although video editing and thumbnail design seems complex, we have a lot of AI tools now, okay? So there's a lot of AI tools, a lot of free programs that will help you create these videos or these thumbnails for your clients. And honestly, anyone can get started as long as you're comfortable with technology. More importantly, and the reason I say this is because more importantly than the effects, right? More importantly than the effects is going to be, oh my gosh, I need to get a better trackpad, guys. But more important than the effects, in my opinion, is human psychology, okay? This is supposed to be a brain, okay? So this is supposed to be a brain, so don't need to worry about all the fancy effects and all that, as long as you're paying attention to human psychology for the content. This means proper pacing. So how should you pace a video? How often should you cut a video? Appropriate times to zoom in, when to use music, when to increase music volume, when to decrease music volume. That's what I mean, okay? When it comes to all the fancy stuff, then you can actually hire just another virtual assistant to take care of this, an editor overseas, and they can take care of all the complex animations if your client even needs that. Right now though, with the way that social media is going, a lot of people are going with more raw content, so less editing, less all these hyper super ADHD type effects and flashes and pop-ups and whatnot and sound effects, okay? So if anything, that's probably working in your favor right now. So double down on your ability to really understand content psychology and you will outperform other video editors when it comes to social media content. Now, what if you have zero experience? Okay, as you can see, I was sick of drawing the words. I'm just gonna type them out. If you have zero experience, then this is not really a big deal because it just means you have to create videos and edit videos. There are so many free programs you can use. If there's any trials for programs, let's say you want to learn how to use Adobe or Final Cut, then I'm sure there are ways that you can use the trials up to. Whenever the trial ends and you want to continue practicing, then just create a new account or maybe even reboot your whole entire computer if that's how it works. Not sure exactly how it works nowadays, but even then you don't need those fancy programs. We have a lot of free programs for you to learn from too. I think DaVinci is free, DaVinci Resolve. So also CapCut. I think CapCut is super popular right now, and it also has a free trial program or free basic version. I think you can edit on Canva too nowadays. Like Canva, you can edit videos. So if you don't have experience, it's not a big deal. Just practice and build a portfolio. Now, another cool way to improve your portfolio and build without actually having worked with clients in the past is just find popular creators, look for raw videos that they have, so minimally edited videos that they have online, and then re-edit the videos using effects that you think would make the video more engaging and get more likes, right? And then so what you want to do is just copy and paste the two versions, compare the two versions. So you have the old version and then you have your version, and you want to show it to clients, hey, this is how it looked before, this is how it looks now. Isn't it way better right now because of all the effects that I did? Before it was all boring, right? So you can show them that you can take a boring piece of content and transform it into something engaging. Now, maybe clients won't need this, super engaging editing for them, depending on their budget, depending on what they're looking for. But the fact that you're capable of doing that will impress them and will, you'll have a higher chance of getting that job compared to someone else, another candidate that you're competing with. So how scalable is this though? Like, can you really grow this? Yes. Yes, you can grow this as a service. Now, video content is only getting more popular, right? So the demand for people editing the content is going to be increasing. Now, you might be thinking, what about AI, right? Everyone's going to take my jobs. No one's going to need video editors anymore. Well, someone's going to have to manage the AI software. So although you'll be editing more efficiently, people will still need editors for many, many, many years to come, okay? So unless you're watching this video in like 2035, then maybe we are toast. But right now in current landscape, I think we're pretty good, man. You're pretty good for the next few years at least, okay? As long as you keep up with the trends, and that's with like every career though. You got to keep up with the trends, okay? Now, the second service that you can offer, now this is the one step above video editing when it comes to difficulty, in my opinion, is website creation. All right, so just creating websites. So most likely these are going to be like Shopify, you have Wix, you have Squarespace too, right? And then you have, I think, WordPress, right? These are popular platforms, I guess, that you can build your websites with. And it's exactly what it sounds like. People need websites. Businesses need websites. They want their websites updated. They want a brand new website, someone starting a new business. They're changing their hours and they just need someone to plug in the new hours, whatever, okay? So some projects will require some coding knowledge, okay? So when it comes to coding, maybe some of them will need the coding, but not all of them do. In fact, a majority of them actually don't really need coding because, like I said, there's a lot of these drag and drop websites like these where they just want someone to do it for them. It's like a convenience thing. Sure, I'm sure most business owners can figure out how to do it, but they're just too busy. They don't want to do it. So it's like a convenience thing. You don't have to be some super expert doing, fancy website graphics, or not graphics, website animations and effects and all this kind of stuff, okay? Now, most of these will probably be one-off projects though, so it's probably going to be like a one-time thing that you're doing with these clients. But what you can do is charge them a monthly retainer for management, okay? So then you charge them the one time for the setup fee and whatnot, but then you have a monthly management fee. You can decide what's good for you, maybe 50 bucks, maybe 100 bucks, maybe 20 bucks. I don't know. It depends on kind of how much money you need to make and what niche you're servicing. Some niches probably can afford more money. And the reason you'd be tacking on a management fee is because whenever they want to change anything, like I said, maybe they just want to update their hours or whatever, you can tell them, hit me up, whenever you need to change something, and then I'll just make those adjustments for you. This is different than a complete rebrand though, so just make sure you make that obvious to clients, like, hey, I'm not going to completely redesign your website whenever, but just like little updates that you need, okay? Now, same thing for this. What if you have zero experience? What do you do? It's literally the same thing as video editing, guys. You just make the same thing here. You would have to make videos, right? You take clips and you edit them into videos. For this one, sign up for these websites. Sign up for Square right here. Sign up for WordPress. Sign up for Wix. Sign up for Shopify. And get your free trial account and just make websites. Just keep making them and making them. And eventually you'll get used to doing this, and you'll learn kind of these shortcuts. You'll learn what makes a website look good, what makes it look bad. And when you're done creating these practice websites, just add them to your portfolio, screenshot them, screen grab them. Why did I do screenshot? And when you're done with these practice websites, just add them to your portfolio, take a screen grab or a screen recording so you can see, you can showcase rather the features of the websites, how you set it up, why it's optimal compared to other websites or whatever, right? Just kind of like selling yourself in the portfolio as well. Now, what is the next thing here? The next most difficult thing? In my opinion, I think it's script writing and copywriting. Now, this could be because I'm not the best at script writing and copywriting. I mean, I don't know, it's weird. I have a weird love-hate relationship when it comes to writing. But this is not about me. This is about you. So for scripting / copywriting, first of all, if you don't know what copywriting is, it's basically just writing ad copy like for Facebook ads or like persuasive writing. Your goal is to try and sell something or have the user click on a certain action, like a call to action, okay? So that's what it is. Now, when it comes to script writing though, this is gonna be for like YouTube creators. So you probably have like YouTubers hit you up or post these projects saying, hey, I run this type of channel, or I have these types of talking head videos, whatever. I want a script writer, or maybe someone's doing like a YouTube automation thing and they need a script writer for that, which first of all, stay away from, unless you're very, very first beginning and you need some clients and reviews and case studies and experience, stay away from YouTube automation people because they just will not be able to pay you enough. A lot of these people just took some random YouTube automation course and now all of a sudden they're trying to hire people and they have no idea what they're doing, okay? So stay away from that. But most of these people are going to be YouTubers, some sort of creators who need help. A few other reasons why I say it's not probably like beginner friendly is because it does require a lot of research into their niche, right? So you need to do niche specific research because you have to understand how their niche talks, what lingo they use. Another thing that you have to worry about here is also matching the client's writing style. So that's one more thing that's kind of difficult to do if you're not, absolutely passionate about writing, or if that's not like your really, really strong skill set. And sure, you might be able to use ChatGPT, okay, but in my experience and in my opinion, I think ChatGPT, it's very obvious when someone used ChatGPT to write a script. So it depends if the client is cool with it. I'm sure you can probably start your script with ChatGPT and then maybe like cut it down or add, customizations and make it sound more human-like. So when it comes to the scalability factor of script writing and copywriting, okay, script writing for content creators is probably going to be a bit more difficult when it comes to scale compared to copywriting. And this is only because for sales assets, you can usually use a template or even reuse ad copy from other clients and change a few words around. But when it comes to writing scripts for YouTubers, every script is going to be unique, and it's not acceptable to just copy and paste someone else's script. The audience will eventually catch on to this and they're going to hate your client, which means the client is going to hate you. Now, with that being said, I think we do have a happy medium here, which is script writing for short form content. So short form content script writing is kind of, the reason I say it's a happy middle is because the same script or template for short form content can be used across different niches while still being effective. Also, a lot of people hate filming short form content because they don't know what to say, even if you're not the best writer in the world. Clients can benefit from the convenience of having ready-to-go scripts that follow trending formats. So that's important too. So if you're doing short form, just make sure you're paying attention to the hooks. Make sure you're paying attention to trends. I almost forgot to mention, what if you have zero experience with copywriting? Here's the best thing you can do, okay? Write stuff. It's so revolutionary. Write stuff. But more specifically, you want to write stuff on Twitter. I think it's called X now, right? So you want to put stuff on Twitter or X or whatever. And what you can do here is try to make tweets go viral and use these results as case studies as proof that, hey, not only does my writing sound good, but it actually works and it actually provides results. Take a look at all these tweets that I did. Here's the reason why these tweets were successful. It's because blah, 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 blah. And that's when you have the opportunity to explain your expertise and convince the client that you are the go-to guy when it comes to copywriting, especially for social media related stuff. Okay, now let's go on to the next one. A little bit more difficult. We're increasing the difficulty and the complexity here, but these are still great services and they're still really in high demand right now on UpWork, okay? Now this one is going to be either a podcast manager or a social media manager. Now you might think this is super easy. Of course I can do this. Of course, like this should be in the beginning of the list, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna see quickly why I don't think it belongs in the beginning of the list, okay? So when it comes to being a podcast manager or a social media manager, let's first discuss what is involved with this, because with all these are kind of one-off services, right? We have the website, it's kind of a one-off service. I create you a website, just tell me what you want. Scripting, all right, I'll write some scripts for you, I'll do the research for you, and I'll send it off to you and you film it. Video editing, all right, send me the video, I'll edit the video, I'll give it back to you, and then you tell me what you want, right? It's like you're only doing one thing, really. Now, when it comes to project management and social media managing, you're probably going to be doing multiples of these. So maybe you're doing video editing as well as you're doing this, scripting and doing research for content ideas and all that. You're probably not going to be doing the website though when it comes to this. Or you might actually, some people, they'll have you maybe post their podcast on their blog. Maybe they have a private website or whatever. So yeah, I could definitely see this being tied into here as well, okay? For the most part, it's not though. So what is involved though when it comes to actually being a manager? So social media management, podcast management. Usually this is going to require you to be able to write show notes. You're going to need to do audio plus video editing. You're going to need to coordinate with guests, making sure that your client has guests on and can invite them. Probably get a transcript, upload the content, make thumbnail, post content, all this kind of jazz, okay? Pretty much what I said here. It's just multiple things housed into one service, right? Now, as an agency, these are pretty good services to offer, but I'm just saying as a complete beginner, if you have no experience, then this is going to be something that's a little bit more difficult to offer. Let's talk about the scalability aspect of this though. Is this scalable? How scalable is this? In my experience, it's scalable if you hire the right VAs. However, there are tons of moving parts, like I said, in this service, so it's not the most beginner friendly. However, if you do land a podcast management or social media management gig as your very first client, then that's great because you're gonna have a lot of experience and gain a lot of experience rather for all these things that I just mentioned, okay? And there are tons of agencies that solely or only do social media management or only do podcast management. Some of them only do maybe they only do podcast editing or podcast growth consulting or whatever, but in general. There are a lot of agencies that offer this, me included. And one of the big things that we do is social media management, social media growth. So once you have a little bit more experience and maybe you have some team members, it is definitely something that you should try out. Now, what if you have zero experience and zero clients and zero portfolio? Guys, super easy. Same thing as video editing, same thing as creating a website here. All you have to do in this case is just create your own pages, create your own Instagram page, create your own podcast, create your own anything, and then just run through it. Try to actually grow it. Here's the thing, even if your podcast does not blow up and you don't become famous and super successful as a podcaster, what you can do is now you know the whole entire process. You know how to edit the audio, upload that to podcasting platforms, which podcasting softwares work the best, which tools will save time for your clients. You'll learn how to upload everything, schedule everything. What is the best way to find a timestamp? What is the most efficient way to do this? Basically, you learn the entire process. So that's the great thing about content creation and social media management is the fact that you don't need to have any sort of client work in the past to really get into this. You don't even need a job in this to get involved. You just need to go and make your own moves, make your own content, manage your own profiles, and then eventually you can use that as a case study on your profile when you're trying to work with real clients. Last but not least, what I have here is going to be digital ads, okay? So if you want to offer ads to your clients, in my opinion, I think at least compared to all the other things that I have on this list, I think this is the most difficult, right? So this is for Facebook, this is going to be for Google, for YouTube, whatever you want to do, local lead gen, e-commerce ads, whatever ads you can think of. Now, the thing about ads though is it will forever be in demand because it's the main driver of leads and new customers for many, 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 many businesses, okay? However, you better have a portfolio. Otherwise, it is going to be pointless applying to these types of projects, okay? If you don't have a portfolio, it really is tough, and I'm gonna explain why. Let me just finish writing portfolio, guys. Be patient. So everything else here, right? Social media management, script writing, website creation, video editing, thumbnail designing, you can do for free without yourself. Like you can test your ability and you can practice it without risking any money or without having to get a job or work with a client, okay? The thing is with ads though, you can't really do this. You kind of need to spend money to practice your ability to run ads well. Not only that, but ads actually has to do with all of this, right? So it has to do with, you have to be able to know how to properly edit a video, how to properly write copy. So it's like all these things kind of combined that go into ads as well. So it's multifaceted as well as being something that requires money to practice and see if you're actually good at it, okay? And the crazy part is, okay, even if you do have a portfolio, you need to make sure the portfolio is a niche portfolio for what problem they're trying to solve, okay? Now, this is a general rule of thumb. In my last video, I talked about having a niche portfolio. Across the board for any service, it's always gonna help to have a niche portfolio. And also just a little quick tip for any project as well, just make sure when you're applying to it, you show the most related projects in the beginning of your portfolio to the project that you're applying to. For example, this is like a basketball YouTube channel that needs a basketball YouTube editor and you have a previous experience or previous case studies or portfolio pieces of basketball videos. Don't put them all the way at the end of your portfolio, just rise it to the top. That way the clients can immediately see that. So the same goes for this. Now, when I was offering Facebook ads way back in the day, I would lose a lot of projects because it's like, for example, there's a diaper company. Now the diaper company, it was like some like luxurious diaper, I think. Now the luxurious diapers, what they did was basically, we had meetings, I told them my strategies and all this kind of stuff, how I would approach their accounts, and I lost that deal to someone who had a agency that specifically helped people who made baby apparel and stuff for children and toddlers and whatnot. So obviously they're going to go with that person because they are a specialist when it comes to running ads for their industry. Now, how scalable is this? This is extremely scalable. I mean, ads, Facebook ads especially, that is one of the main services and one of the main talking points when it comes to people talking about SMMA and when people talk about like starting an SMMA, right? Everybody talks about ads. And the reason they talk about it is because they say the ideal situation would be, hey, I charge you $1,500 a month and plus I get 15% of the revenue that I generate for you, right? That's kind of how people try to position their offer. That way they're making a lot of money per client and the profit margins are really big. But those, you have to be really, really good to get your clients really good results. Now, what if you have zero experience, okay? Completely nothing, zilch, nada. Shit out of luck, my friend. You really are. I'm sorry, but you kind of are, right? Because look, the best thing you can do here is just get a job at an ads company or at an ads agency, get a job as like a junior media buyer, really, really entry-level stuff. Hopefully they will teach you how to run the ads. Ensure there are plenty of YouTube videos that you can learn from, but you still need to run ads and spend money on ad campaigns so that you can show prospective clients your previous results. So that's why I say that this is the most difficult probably service to get into as a complete beginner. Maybe what you can do, and one thing that I tried out, I can explain in more detail in another video just dedicated to it. But what I did was I used to create a portfolio, or a flow chart rather, of how I would approach their ads. So you can try that. I would pretty much make, like, long story short is I would make custom ads for them, and I would make a flow chart, and I'll explain to them, hey, this is like the top of the funnel, this is the bottom of the funnel, and then here's how we're gonna do this. Whenever people go here, I'm going to add this ad here. If they go this direction, we're gonna show them this ad here. We're gonna set it up on Facebook by doing blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's one thing that I did when I didn't have any portfolio or any clients in my portfolio for ads, but I was trying to sell that service. It actually did end up getting me a client, so this worked, but it was extremely inefficient. It took forever. I don't even know how much money I spent on UpWork Connects just to get that one client. I'm pretty sure I did not make my money back with that client. And that is pretty much it, guys. These are the services that I think are the best on and the most high demand on UpWork right now. Go ahead, try these out. I think this should work for you. If you guys need help, like I said, I have a free course, Agency Go, free course and community. Just DM me on Instagram at AkashConvert, and I'll let you in. I'll help you out, get your first few clients so you get confident, and then you can start making money online. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe.